What's going on, guys? I'm going to be making another video on my top prospects in every division. Now, I did this a while ago, and I'll admit a lot of my prospects that I picked did not end up the greatest. There were a couple, though. There were a couple. Yeah, I think a lot of them lost. I know Joshua Van lost after making it. I know Rebecca lost after I made it. Zhang Yang Li lost after I made it. Uh, Charles Radke lost after I made it. Who else lost? Uh, Michelle Pereira still won. I don't for heavyweight. I think Robelis disbanded. He lost after I made it. So I know my prospect meter isn't the greatest, but I think we got it really dialed in and locked in this time, and I think I'm really confident in this. So first off, we're gonna start off with the flyweight division, and I say Andre Lima. I think Andre Lima is a really, really skilled fighter. We've seen what he's capable of doing on the feet. He's able to manage distance very well. He's able, he's got, sorry, there's someone on his fucking motorcycle revving it outside. What a fucking loser. I'm sorry, that was rude. He worked very hard to get that motorcycle, and I respect him for that. But it just, I'm gonna get closer to the mic. Oh, I like his ability to manage the distance. I think his overall kickboxing and striking is really skillful. Uh, and you know what? His grappling, as he displayed against Felipe dos Santos, who I think he had staff because I saw a really big fucking like volcano. I can't remember where, but I saw it somewhere on him. I think it was on his arm. And I was like, holy fuck, dude. And he didn't look as good. However, I still picked Andre Lima in that fight. I still picked Andre Lima. Not an excuse for Felipe, but I still picked Lima. But Felipe Lima's looked really good. His grappling is legit. He was able to take the back, almost choke out Dos Santos, the jiu-jitsu guy. He's like his striking ability, despite him not getting over 66 strikes, significant strikes in a round, even though I bet on it, but his striking is still really good. I think he's a legit prospect, and I really want to see him against someone like dangerous. I want to see him against someone who's gonna put him on him and force him to really fight a dirty fight and is gonna really bring out that dog in him. Kind of like the Igor Severino fight, except someone doesn't fucking bite him. But yeah, I think Andre Lima. I'm switching off Joshua Van because Joshua Van got finished. He got knocked out. It's not looking the greatest for him. It's not looking the greatest for Mister Joshua Van. However, he did bounce back, and it's just there's holes to be seen now. But Andre Lima has shown from the Igor Severino fight where he's getting taken down, controlled a bit, grappled. He's shown improvements, man. I mean, he took down and controlled Felipe dos Santos for the last two rounds completely. But yeah, Felipe Andre Lima, that's my flyweight pick. Hold on, let me bantamweight, Vinicius Oliveira. I know many of you probably think it's Peyton Talbot, but honestly, Peyton Talbot hasn't fought the highest. His best win is Cameron Simon, and that's not a bad win. That's a really good win. I picked Simon to beat him. That's a good win, but it's Simon versus Ricky Simone. One of these guys was a favorite against Song Yadong, and another one of these guys got fucking obliterated. I don't know. Listen, I like Vinicius Oliveira. He reminds me of like a Carlos Prates Anderson Silva. He has a weird, funky style. First of all, he's really big, really athletic. He hits like a truck. I mean, he's got nasty low kicks. Despite it getting checked, he still ended up throwing it in the third. I like his. Hold on, let me turn up the volume a little bit, cause yeah, I like his I mean, his grappling seems to be really good. He was able to stuff almost every single takedown off Ricky Simone. I think he gave up what, two, three? And then in the third, he was able to shoot and take down Simone himself. I mean, the guy's got a good gas tank. He has a weird, like wonky, really like swaying head movement style, hands down. It makes me nervous. I think he could get caught and knocked out. He's been knocked out before. But man, he's a big athletic dude. I like him. I think he's got a really well-rounded game, and I think a lot of people were picking Ricky Simone to beat him. I picked him against Simone. And I think this is why. I think he's a really good athletic dude. I turned up the volume. I think I turned up the mic again. I don't know if I'm quiet or not. I don't want to be loud. I'm in a dorm, so I don't want to be like screaming. My fucking roommate already says he could hear me scream when I get mad at games. So I'm like, "Ooh." Or not my roommate, the guy next door to me, not my suite mate, the one that I'm next to like wall. But Vinicius Oliveira, yeah, great game. I like his. I don't know. I just believe in him more than Talbot. I've seen more from him that makes me impressed than I have from Talbot. I mean, what Talbot hasn't really shown an improvement in the grappling. Vinicius Oliveira, who went from getting taken down by Bernardo Sopage, has shown an improvement by being able to take down Ricky Simone. So I like the improvements in his game, and I think honestly, he's the. I think this is the next guy up. I don't know. I think this is the next guy up. All right. Now for my featherweight, I have two. This kid just got signed on the Dana White's Contender Series, so he hasn't fought yet. But I just want to highlight him just because I really like his game. Oh right, I got to fucking Kevin Vallejos. This kid is fucking good, dude. This kid is so fucking good. If you saw what he finished Cantig with, I'm not gonna show because I don't want to get copyrighted. Because UFC sucks. Dude, this kid's boxing is legit. This kid has a well-rounded striking game. His only loss is to Gene Silva by decision. That's the only guy that's been taken to a decision by Gene Silva in a loss. Or in a this is the only guy that Gene Silva's beat who he hasn't finished. I mean, Gene Silva finished Charles Jourdain. Nobody finished Jourdain before. Gene Silva finished Drew Dober like with a nasty cut. He finished Winston Wilson, and he beat Kevin Vallejos, but he couldn't finish him. Like, dude, Kevin Vallejos is legit, and Kevin Vallejos was able to take a round off Gene Silva. People don't know that he took a round. He won a round. I like his game. I think he's legit. He's a short, stocky featherweight, and I don't think he's gotten enough credit. And I can't wait to see his first fight. I think after his first fight, people will really start to see how good this fucking kid is. But yeah. Now for the real featherweight, the actual featherweight pick, and I think people could expect this. It's Steve Garcia. I mean, let's be real. 5 knockouts in a row. I mean, if you look at how he fights, it's not exactly the smartest. Nothing looks super technical. He doesn't look very like he doesn't look the most technically sound. Let me adjust the mic just a bit. Let me adjust the mic a bit. Okay. He doesn't do anything like technically amazing, but man, the guy just has a finishing instinct. He sees an opportunity, he takes it. Against Kyle Nelson, went in, whooped that ass. Fucking what was his name? Sungwoo Choi went in, whooped that ass. Milkos El Costo went in, whooped that ass. Chase Hooper, whooped that ass. Shailene Nerdenbeck, whooped that ass. This guy's on a hot streak, and I want to see what's next. I want to see what's next for him. Now, I would be putting Yoanderson Brito here, but he got fucking robbed against William Gomez. So I can't. Because he's just now coming off a loss. I'm really upset about that. He got robbed. Because I thought if he won, I think you do, Anderson Brito versus Steve Garcia pay-per-view pay-per-view opener. Because why not? I think that's worthy of a pay-per-view. Steve Garcia, Anderson Brito, that's 100% worthy of a pay-per-view. It's guaranteed a knockout. It is guaranteed a knockout. But yeah, dude, this guy's exciting. He has the ability to finish. He doesn't do anything technically the best, but man, he's just going out. My fault. I fucked shit up. I fucked something up on accident. That was my bad. But don't worry, we're locked in. Hold on. Oh, motherfucker. All right, next up for the lightweight pick. I'm switching it up. It's Ludovic Klein. Now, I know I had Mateusz Rebecki, and I don't anymore. Now, I'm not gonna say I was super impressed with Ludovic Klein's last performance because I wasn't. I thought he did shit. I thought he looked like shit, and I thought he made it competitive against Roosevelt Roberts, who he should have smoked inside of a round. But maybe Roosevelt Roberts just made some serious improvements that no one knew about. But Ludovic Klein, I think he's really good. I think he doesn't get enough credit. What I've seen from him against guys like Moises, where he's just able to completely shuck off all takedowns. He's able to drop Moises twice in the fight, and against guys like what's his face? What's his face? What's his face? What's his face? What AJ Cunningham? He's able to show that you know what when he's up against someone that he can just tee off on, he'll go after it. He'll do it, and he's showing some slick boxing from it. But I just like I'm not gonna say this guy is like a real like top 10 material just yet. I want to see, and people will keep saying this. The only guy who I've seen actually, sorry, my fault. The only guy I've seen actually mention like what who should fight next. I think the same thing for is Guru, and I'm just saying him versus Carlos Diego Ferreira would be the ultimate test. This would genuinely show us, okay, this guy's legit. Because Carlos Diego Ferreira is a guy with good cardio. He's 39. He's a vet. He just come off a win over Mateusz Rebecki, another good prospect who I had in my last prospect video that I thought was gonna really be the guy. But this time, I think Ludovic Klein could get it done. I think he's shown the skills, and I think he can do it, and I think he can make it to the top. But I just need to see that extra something from him. But now we're gonna go on. We're gonna go to what's his face? Oh, welterweight. Carlos Prates. Now, a lot of people are probably gonna look at me and be like, "Why not Ryan Battle? Why not fucking, I guess, someone else like Randy Brown?" Uh, I'm very impressed with Brian Battle. I really liked his last performance. I think his last three performances have all been really good, but I think I've just seen more from Carlos Prates. I know people are gonna discredit the Li Jingliang win and be like, but Li Jingliang was coming off a spine injury, so he wasn't able to take a shot as well. No, I think he was able to take a shot just as fine. I mean, I think the time he had to recover from it, I think he was, and if you look at Lee, he was in, he was way, way more ripped than he's ever been for any fight. And sure, he had ring rust, but man, Carlos Prates was the first person to knock him out, and he did it in style. His last two opponents he styled on, and even against Trevin Giles when he was losing, he was able to just bring it back and one punch KO him. I mean, Brian Battle, he's got ragdolled by Renat Fakretinov. And it seems like he just gets Byron Battle. I don't want to discredit him because I do think he's really good, and I'd like to see him get a top 15 opponent. But man, I just think he's just too hittable. I see him get fucking his head snapped back by Kevin Jousset. Carlos Prates, yeah, he was getting his head snapped back, but now he's not getting hit. Li Jingliang couldn't land a fucking finger on him. He was shoulder rolling everything. He had that hand up. He was slick. His movement was great. Like Li Jingliang, he's a legit problem. Or not Li Jing. Carlos Prates is a legit problem. His power is extraordinary. One shot KO, fucking Trevin Giles. One punch, boom, out cold. Fucking Charles Radke, one knee to the liver. Has Radke literally jump up and crumple into the fetal position, slamming to the ground, and he just walks away. Li Jingliang, fucking right, left, bing, bing, drops him like 3 times in the fight. He's a problem. He's a problem, and I don't think people give him enough credit. I think people are saying, "Oh, he fights a wrestler, he's gonna be done for." Oh, MVP schools him. MVP fuck MVP. I don't give a shit about MVP anymore. I don't give a fuck about MVP anymore, dude. But Carlos Prates, he's legit, man. I think he's the next guy. I really like his skills. You know what? Carlos Prates doesn't get the credit he deserves, and I used to not give him the credit he deserves until I figured out, oh my god, he's him. He's fucking him. But yeah, Carlos Prates, that's my pick. And I need people to start realizing he's gonna KO whoever you think he's gonna fight next. What, you think he's fighting MVP next? Who the fuck is above me slamming their shit? Fucking loser. My fault. You think he's fighting MVP next? He's probably gonna knock him out. You think he's fighting Chaos Williams next? He's probably gonna knock him out. You think he's fighting Randy Brown next? He's probably gonna knock him out. He's not fighting Brian Battle next because they don't want Brian Battle and Carlos Prates because they want them both. But you know what? He would probably knock out Brian Battle. But Carlos Prates, this is the guy. This is the guy. I'm telling you. Fighting nerds. There's something different. I didn't put Gene Silva for featherweight just because he's at lightweight. He's like in between divisions right now, so I don't know really where to put him. I would put Gene Silva, but I don't know. And I didn't put Mauricio Hufi for a lightweight just because he's literally had one fight against fucking Jamie Malarkey. I don't value that at all. I'd like to see him fight someone like Charlie Campbell. Mauricio Hufi versus Charlie Campbell. That'd actually be good. Charlie Campbell's actually good. Or Mauricio Hufi versus Chris Duncan. Boom, there you go. But yeah, next up at middleweight, my goat, Gregory Rodriguez. What the fuck is this about Manel Cape? Okay, I don't know. Manel Cape. This guy's legit. Or not Manel Cape, Gregory Rodriguez. Dude, time and time. I remember when Gregory Rodriguez and Chris Duncan got announced, I saw someone say Chris Duncan by striking masterclass. This guy beat Chris Duncan on the ground. He beat him on the feet. He rocked Chris Duncan. He put a fucking hematoma, a fucking giant lump on his forehead. He his punches hit so hard he developed a cancerous tumor on Chris Duncan's forehead. That's not true. It was just a hematoma. I mean, Gregory Rodriguez has that ever since he got knocked out by Bruno Ferreira. He's just been fucking on a tear. I think this guy needs a ranked opponent next. I mean, I promise you, this guy Gregory Rodriguez, he's legit. He's KO'd. I think this is his only win in the UFC that's not a KO. Chris Duncan was the only guy he didn't KO in the UFC, and he got pretty fucking close. His boxing is legit. His striking is there. He's got pretty good head movement, honestly. I think he's improved it since the Bruno Ferreira loss, since he got just caught with his hands on the center line, or his head on the center line, just with a straight punch. But then again, Bruno Ferreira has like vaporizing power. I don't get it. But his boxing's really improved. His jujitsu and grappling is fucking insane, but he just never uses it. Don't know why. Just never uses it. Don't get it. He has really good power. He hits fucking hard, dude. He hits people and they start. You can see the look on their face. They don't take it well. I think Gregory Rodriguez is underrated. I don't think he gets a lot of respect. I don't think he gets a lot of notice. I think he's going to be ranked. I think he's going to be ranked soon. However, if he fights Paulo Costa, I'm not picking him to beat Paulo Costa. I don't think he beats Paulo Costa. I would pick him to beat like a Jack Hermanson though. If you do him versus Jack Hermanson, I'm picking him to beat Jack Hermanson, but not Paulo Costa. I think Paulo Costa would probably end up just like swarming him early on enough to get a 10-8, and then maybe in the second make it close so that way it's just he gets a majority decision, and then Gregory Rodriguez could maybe take a third round, but I don't know. I wouldn't pick him to beat Costa just yet, but if you put him versus Hermanson, I'd probably pick him to beat Hermanson, maybe a Chris Curtis. Like, he's good. He's fucking good. But next up at light heavyweight, I forget who I picked here. Oh, that's right, I picked him. Umar Sy. I know he only has 2 wins, and I know it's against a fucking fat loser and 3-fight losing streak Da Un Jung, but he's shown the well-roundedness of his game. First off, let's acknowledge that he's fucking gigantic. He's 6'4". He has an 83-inch reach. In his first fight, here's what I was worried about with him. I was worried about if he can fight someone with good takedown defense, because I saw his previous fights. I watched his like earlier fights, his earlier pro fights, and he just looked so slow. He looked so slow. He looked like his sting shots didn't sting at all. he only had like a couple knockouts by like fucking ground and pound and one a head kick. And I'm like, and fuck, someone has a water bottle case. He only had like in a head kick, but anyone who lands a clean head kick is getting a fucking flash, is getting a fucking knockout. I mean, it's just facts. But in his last fight against Dao Jun, he showed a good game. He was able to fucking. Oh, holy fuck, dude. 8:30, and I'm already fucking tired. I haven't even worked out today. I'm gonna go work out soon. But he's shown a well-rounded game. He showed his striking in that last fight. He shows that he has grappling and that he could take people down and sub them. And in this fight he showed that he can strike, and he almost finished Dao Jun on the feet. So I'm really impressed with this game. I can't wait to see more of him. He's undefeated too. That's big. That's big. I can't wait to see if he gets another head kick knockout, if I'm being honest. But Umar Sy, he's that guy. And finally, for heavyweight, it's McParkin. Now you may be asking, why McParkin? Just because there's really no one else at heavyweight. I mean, he's on a good streak, though. I will give him that. He's on like a, what, 4 or 5 fight win streak? He's on a good streak. I mean, he's good. Can't hate him. I mean, he got a knockout in his last fight, too. He's got decent striking, decent grappling. He's a good fighter. I think the difference between him and the rest of the blob heavyweights is he's actually like technical. I think he actually like trains for technique and skill. Uh, I just wish this guy would fuck it. If he could like take off all the fat and just replace like if he took off 30% of his fat and replace it all with muscle, yeah, he'd be heavyweight. He'd be like top 5 heavyweight. He could like smoke half the heavyweights. Just, bit of a blob. But, he got a knockout, so fuck yeah. Mick Barkin is he's him. But, he's just like a normal heavyweight. Kind of a blob, but he's just better than most. 4 fight win streak. He's not ranked yet. I think he deserves a ranked opponent next. But yep, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.